Hello! Welcome to the Tink and Bobble YouTube channel. I'm Sierra. I live here in southern Indiana with my husband and my two cute pups who might make appearances during this video. And I'm a knitter. If you've never been to my channel before, I have a knitting podcast that I'm trying to upload every 2 weeks this year, so we'll see. But if you're new, welcome. Today is a bit of a different video, and I hope you can hear me okay because the camera's like really far away. But I was in the middle of reorganizing this whole cubby situation that I have here, and usually what's in these cubbies is yarn. So I have never gone through my entire stash before. So I laid out all my stash on my dining room table, which is right in front of me. It was a lot more than I thought it was. I will tell you how many skeins I have towards the end of this video. But I laid it all out. I took pictures of everything for Ravelry, so all of my stash is on Ravelry now. And I'm gonna put it back in the cubbies, but I thought I would show it all to you as I'm doing that. I got this idea from Emily Curtis. She did this at the beginning of last year and went through her whole stash while she was putting it away, and I thought it was a great idea. And yeah. Let's get organizing. You will see that I have a lot of Explore Knits and Fibers in my stash and a lot of Nitpicks. Those are probably the two most common yarns in here. I haven't fully decided how I'm going to organize this, so it's kind of going to be a go with the flow sort of situation. But let's just get started. I think I'll start with my Explore Knits. Also, I'm like standing and the light's weird because there's no natural light in this part of the apartment, so just excuse all that. Oh, and this is my A Court of Thorns and Roses sweatshirt. I got this on Etsy. I'll have the shop link down below. Yeah, let's get started with some Explore Knits, shall we? So this will start with my newest addition to the collection. This is actually, I only have this yarn because of Emily Curtis of 108 Stitches. I have been trying to find Duomo by Explore Knits, and it was always sold out everywhere. And I had seen in a podcast from a while ago that Emily had some in her stash, so I reached out to her and asked if she would be willing to sell it to me. And she was so stinking kind and generous and offered to sell it to me, and I'm so excited because this is like my favorite colorway of yarn of all time. So I have 4 skeins of, you're not gonna be able to see the colors. Since I took pictures of all these, I'll just insert the pictures. But I have 4 skeins of Duomo on her Rocky's DK base, and this is going to become a Paloma sweater by Spas Tricot. Okay, next I have another sweaters quantity. You all have heard me talk about this, I think. This is from the A Court of Thorns and Roses collection that Kate from Red Door, Allie from Explore Knits, and Robin from Teeny Button all collaborated on. This is Explore Knits and Fibers, Rocky's DK, and To the Stars Who Listen. And I have 5 skeins of this to make a Cardi V-Neck by Ann Vinsel, which I will be talking more about that in my next podcast episode, probably, but I don't recommend Ann Vinsel as a designer because she is not size inclusive, and I did not realize that until after I purchased the pattern. So I am going to make this sweater, but in the future I will not be supporting her until she decides to make her patterns available to people of all sizes, because there's no excuse, especially since she has thousands upon thousands upon thousands of followers. She has the resources. There's no excuse. That's my little rant on that. But this is going to be the Cardi V-Neck, and I'm so, oh, this color is just so freaking beautiful. Okay, I think we might have missed a couple skeins there. Technical difficulties, of course. I can't wait to get a new phone. We have Court of Dreams on Denali sock. This will become a pair of socks. This is also from the A Court of Thorns and Roses collection. And then these 4 skeins are from the Into the Wild collection. These 2 are on Cashmere Caverns, which is her cashmere fingering weight. And this is The Wild Within, and this is Untamed. These 2 were like variegated tonal partners in the collection. And I'm planning to make a brioche shawl, probably the Pink Sky at Night shawl by Whimsy North with these. And then this is Denali sock in Karma Chameleon. I just ordered another skein of this in her year in review update as well, so that I can make a Captiva Crop by Murphy Made Crochet. That's on my Make 9. And then this is Prowl, and this is going to be a pair of Carta Socks by Emma of the New York Year, and this is also on my Make 9. Okay, actually there's another one. I'll show this one first. This is also from the Into the Wild collection. This is Denali sock in Docile, and this is in a messy cake because I used the teeniest bit of it to finish up my Sunday sweater, which I knit out of Gentle Natured, which was also from the Into the Wild collection, so that's why this is in like a really messy cake. But there's basically a full skein here. And then last but not least, this is Denali sock in the Serengeti National Park colorway, which is freaking gorgeous, and I'm going to be making a Bennett sister shawl by Lindsay of Larkspur Knits out of this, which is again on my Make 9 for the year. Okay, next I have a handful of skeins from the Farmer's Daughter Fiber. I did her sock squad for 2021, and I've actually used a lot of the colors, but I have, I think, 5 here. So going in order, I don't remember what month this is, but this is on her Bear Paw sock, which is Superwash Merino Yak and Nylon in Say Hello to My Little Friend. August is also Bear Paw sock in Cool as a Cucumber. Oh, low battery. Let's see, September Highwood sock, which is 80/20, and this is in Fantastic Mr. Fox. October, this one's my favorite, is Pucker Up on the Pullover sock, which is 75/25. November, oh, I'm losing them. November, oh, also these don't have their minis with them because I separated them and I'm using a few of the minis in other projects, but these all came with minis, they're sock sets. November is Ermias in the Bear Paw sock. And then December, Christmas Crack, which I'm super excited about this. And this is on the Highwood sock, which is her 80/20. Okay, now we're gonna move on to sock yarn. I have quite a few things. I'll start with Yarnable. So I subscribed to Yarnable for a few months, and then I decided that I would rather spend more money on like sweater quantities and stuff, but I have 3 Yarnable skeins. This one is Sweet and Sour, and then we also have Summer Vibes and Born to be Mild. Then I have a sock set from Sorella yarn. This is my first and only skein of Sorella so far, but I will be purchasing more because I love their yarn. This I got in her Christmas collection, and it is the sock set called Tchaikovsky, which is inspired by the Nutcracker. I have a skein of Desert Vista Dye Works in DJ Jazzy Jeff because I love the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so I'm excited to knit with this one. This is like a super bright summery color, so I'll probably save this one for the summer. And then my other skein, I think this is my last skein of like specifically sock yarn. I got this at Michael's. This is Loops and Threads Perfect Pair in the color Promised Land. Okay, then I have a lot of other like random fingering weight yarn. So this is from Teeny Button in the colorway Maple Latte. This is her 75/25. And then I have these 2 skeins that I recently got from Katelyn of the Cozy Moth Knits, her giveaway. This is Dream in Color Smushy Cashmere, which is 70% merino, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon in Crying Dove and Fortune Teller. And I might do some rearranging with like colorways and stuff, but we're just gonna get them in their cubbies for now. And then this I'm actually destashing, but I'm gonna put it away for now. This is 2 skeins of Cascade Heritage Solids in the colorway Cinnamon. I no longer support the company Cascade because I don't appreciate their values as a company, but we won't get into that here. But I have 2 skeins of that. This is available for sale on my Ravelry, and I'm also going to post these on Instagram, so if you're interested and they haven't been sold by the time that you see this video, let me know. Okay, then I have one more skein. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is almost a whole skein. So 2 skeins of a one-of-a-kind like oopsie colorway from Oak and Fiber. This is on her cashmere sock, which is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And I think I'm gonna make a baby sweater for a friend of mine that's having a baby next month out of this. I guess we'll do DK weight in this cubby too, because I only have a handful of things and these are my last things in like actual hanks. So I have 4 skeins of Stress Knits DK in the colorway Sweet Disposition. I love that song and I love this colorway. And these are going to become a Tulip Sweater by, oh, I can't think of her name, but B Mandarins. I'll have everything linked down below, obviously. These will be a Tulip Sweater. I'm gonna knit it this spring. And then my only other skein of DK is this skein of Forest Lane Fiber Company in her non-superwash BFL DK base in the colorway October. And I think I'm gonna knit maybe an Oslo hat. I know I'm gonna do a hat for sure, but I haven't decided on which pattern yet out of this. And I got this from Danielle from Knits on Route 66 as part of my Winter Wishes sock swap package. Okay, the rest of my skeins are either like Nitpicks or things I bought at Michael's and stuff, so they're not in like pretty hanks. I think I'm just gonna put this whole basket away. So in this basket, I have all of my yarn for my Stria Cardigan by Andrea Mowry, which I've talked about before. So I have 8 skeins of, this is all Nitpicks palette, which is their fingering weight 100% Peruvian Highland wool. I have 8 skeins of Oyster Heather for my main color, and then my 4 contrasting colors are Lynx Heather, Doe, Bison, and Douglas Fir. So all those skeins are down in this basket. I think I'm just gonna put them away like that. Tuck that in there. Also, up in here, I'm not gonna take these out because they fit so perfectly, so I just left them. But both of these upper sections are Nitpicks Wool of the Indies worsted in Penguin and Crane Heather. I'm currently using Crane Heather to knit my husband a Saven Sweater by Megan Babin, and I'm gonna make him a sweater out of this Penguin colorway as well. So that's what's in there. I have 20 skeins of each, so they're all packed in up here, nice and neat. Let's see, what next? I guess we could do this. I have 5 skeins of Lion Brand Woolies to knit myself a sweater. I haven't decided what sweater yet. I was thinking a Woodwardia, or what was the other one I was gonna do? An Edgar pullover by Sari Nordlund. But I have 5 skeins of this in the colorway Linen. And then also in Lion Brand Woolies, I have 1 full skein and 1 partial skein in the colorway Forest Green Heather. I use this colorway to knit my sister-in-law a grow shawl for Christmas, and I think I'm gonna knit my dog Evie a sweater with the rest of this. Okay, I moved the Lion Brand down here with the basket because I have this basket which is full of all my leftovers. So all my like mini skeins from Sock Squad, and like this is leftovers from a Musselburgh, leftovers from a Starflake shawl, all that leftovers from socks, all that's down in here. And I'm just gonna put this up in this cubby. And then I have another basket that looks just like it. And I think I'm gonna put all of my yarn that's in like balls like this in here, because it's really hard to keep it like nice and neat stacked. Like it's harder than it is to stack like hanks like this. So I have 8 balls of Hair Heather from Nitpicks because I was originally going to use this for my Stria, but it wasn't enough contrast for me. And I was gonna return it, then I was like, you know what, this is a sweater quantity of yarn, and I still like the color, just not for that project, so I'm gonna hang on to it. So I have 8 balls of this. This is Nitpicks palette. So I'm gonna throw that in there. I have 5 skeins of Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I started a Coleoptera sweater with this, but this yarn is too thick for that sweater. I don't know why, I didn't realize. This is like almost Aran weight, and that sweater calls for DK. And I'm not sure why I didn't notice that, but I'm gonna hang on to this for a different sweater. So I have 5 skeins of the color Marzipan. And then I have 2 skeins of the color Coal, which is like black, and then 1 skein of the color Copper. So I'm gonna put that in there. And I think that's probably all I'm gonna, actually I'll throw these in here too. I have 3 skeins of Nitpicks Lindy Chain, which is their linen cotton blend, and it's a chain ply yarn. I've shown this before, but I'm going to use this to knit an outline tank for someone. I'm not gonna say who because they might watch this, but that's what this is for. I'm gonna throw this in this basket too. And now this basket is pretty much full, but I think that's okay. Actually, I'll put this in here too. This is also Knitting for Olive. This is their fingering weight merino yarn in the colorway cream, and this is just leftovers from my grandma's Starflake shawl that I knit for Christmas. So I'll put that in there, and then this can go up here. Nice, now they're like matching. And I just have a handful of random things. So I have 5 skeins of Nitpicks palette in blush. This is what I started my Princess Diana black sheep sweater in, and then I frogged it. And I don't think I'm gonna use this colorway for anything. It's not my shade of pink, it's like too pink. So I think I'm gonna sell or trade or something. I'm gonna destash this, so I'm not gonna put this away. But I have 5 skeins of that, and I also have 4 skeins of cream, same deal. I thought about keeping it because it's cream, but it's 4 skeins. I'm never gonna use 4 skeins. And it's so cheap that if I do need the colorway cream again, I'll just buy it again, but I'm destashing these. I am going to keep the black skein that I have from that sweater, again, Nitpicks palette, and the colorway black. I'm gonna keep this just because I only have 1 skein of this, and I don't mind keeping 1 skein on hand just to have a nice black fingering weight yarn. So I'll throw that up in this basket as well. And then, let's see, I have a skein of I Love This yarn. This is from Hobby Lobby. It's sport weight acrylic yarn. I used this for some Hufflepuff scarves that I made for my friends 2 Christmases ago. And this is just an untouched skein, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm not sure if it's worth destashing, because like selling on a destash, because you can get it for like $1 at Hobby Lobby, so I might just take this to like Goodwill or something, but I have that. And then I have some leftovers from my Cleo Cardigan. So this is Hobby Diablo, which is their mohair blend in the colorway Dusty Light Blue, and I'm gonna be destashing these because I don't need these for anything anymore. And then I have these skeins of Nitpicks Gloss Fingering. These are from my Shawlography, and I was gonna destash these because if you watched my last, it was either my podcast episode or my year in review, I talked about how I was just gonna bind off my shawl after Clue 3, but then I decided I'm just gonna finish it. I'm gonna do the whole border. I know it's a poop ton of knitting, but I'm just gonna do it because it bothers me to like quit part of the way through, even though that's an option in the pattern to stop there. In my mind, I just can't bring myself to do it. So I'm just gonna make myself knit the border. I'm not gonna like try to do it anytime soon. It's just gonna be a knit as I can thing. So I'm gonna hang on to these because I'm gonna need them for the border. So this is Nitpicks Gloss Fingering in Pine, Wharf, Rosemary, and Harvest. And I've talked about these before, but this is their wool and silk blend. So I'm gonna hang on to these, and I'm gonna put them in the project bag with my Shawlography, so those aren't getting put away either. And then the last thing I have is this giant skein. I have another one, but it's with a project. This giant skein of gray acrylic yarn. I'm gonna use this to knit my other nephew a sweater. I think I'm gonna put this somewhere else. Oh, low battery. Okay, this is just worsted weight acrylic yarn from Michael's Yarnspirations Karen 1 pound in the color, I think it's medium gray mix or something. I'm gonna put this somewhere else because it's too big and bulky to fit in the allotted cubbies that I have for my yarn. It might be able to fit back behind there, but I have another place that I can put this. So I'm just gonna put this somewhere else, but this is the last thing in my stash. So, that went a lot faster than I thought it would, and it looks a lot nicer than it did before. So here it is. It's these 5 cubbies right here. Yeah, I think it looks really nice, and it's very organized now, and I know what I have, and I have a plan for almost all the things that I have, except for like sock skeins, which those are just gonna be socks as I get to them. So, go ahead and guess, pause the video, and guess in the comments how many skeins of yarn you think I have. Obviously, if you were counting, then that's a lot of work. I don't think any of you counted. But if you want to, pause the video and guess down in the comments how many skeins of yarn you think I have in my stash, including the ones that I'm giving away or like destashing. Okay, anyways, are you back? Are you ready to be surprised? I was surprised. Maybe y'all aren't surprised, but I calculated it up, and I have 138 skeins of yarn in my stash. That is like more than double what I thought I had. I don't know why. It just doesn't look like as much when it's put away like this, you know? To be fair, 40 of those skeins are this Wool of the Andes, which is just 2 like cable knit sweaters quantities, and they're 50-gram balls. Actually, almost all of the knit picks that I have is 50-gram balls. So in my mind, it's really like half that number, because normally they would be 100-gram skeins. Am I making any sense? I'm just justifying. This has really reinforced the need to work through my stash this year, which I'm not making like a goal to like get down to a certain number of skeins or anything, but almost all of the yarn that I have plans for, and a lot of it is part of my Make 9 for this year. I actually already have 3 projects from my Make 9 on the needles, and it's not even the end of January yet, so that's exciting. But yeah, I want to work through my stash because I want to make the things that I have planned for this yarn. So we're starting with 138 skeins. I'm going to destash some of it and hopefully work through a lot of it throughout this year, and we'll see what happens. I don't have any like set goals on how big or small my stash will be at the end of the year, but I just think it will be interesting to see how much of this I actually work through. So thank you for joining me as I organize. I'm gonna finish putting together some cabinet doors for down here and reorganizing the rest of this mess that's not yarn related. But yeah, this was a lot of fun and was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments how much yarn you have in your stash, if you know the number. I would be curious to hear if it's more or less or what. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next podcast episode. Thanks for watching. Bye!